Hey guys, welcome to this new development blog video. I'm gonna be showing you some of the latest stuff that I've been working on. I'm playing out of Steam, so this is the latest build, build 19. And I've been doing a lot of changes requested by some of the testers. So let's see how that is working. I'm aware of many bugs, but I'm trying to get first the user experience and the gameplay right, and then there's going to be plenty of time to fix bugs and known issues, right? So one of the things that people have been complaining about, the first thing that I was working on is the placement, right? So when you place a tile, you see you want to place a tile, let's say back there, right? You would expect that you can actually put a tile there, but what you don't see basically is that the game works in a way like Minecraft. Like every tile, it's actually, even if it's graphically it's smaller, it's always a square. So you don't really see the tile in the back, right? And that's kind of a bit of a compromise, just to make everything work smoothly. But so I did this graphic that shows you what are the tile that you're connecting to, and I also did this highlight showing you which interface is that you're touching. So it gives you a bit of a better indication. Of course, you can just use this slider. Sometimes you'll have better angle to change the angle, or you can rotate. And yeah, I added some shortcuts for that. The rotation, now you can press A or D, and I added these two different buttons, right? So you can rotate in both directions now and really kind of find the location where you want to place things. So it becomes a bit easier to navigate. We corrected also the blinking. The blinking, you can also turn it off. So if you go into the shortcuts, which I've kind of edited here, you can see that you can turn blinking off. C, right? So if you don't like the blinking effect that is showing you the production of tiles, you can turn it off, and that should be easy. The other thing you can do is go into options and turn the blinking effect off here. But I actually like playing with blinking on just to see the production. So one of the other things that has been requested, and I agree it seems a bit more difficult, is the idea of like the resources, right? The resources here, this is the accumulated resources, right? And I put this kind of a tooltip showing you, if you hover over it, that it's the resources, the accumulated resources that you have in terms. You start with some money, but that will probably go down if you don't produce anything. And then the arrow, which I've explained before, it's the production trend. So if you are going up, positive or negative, in this case, the corridors are actually consuming some money. You can see in the inspection mode that they're consuming a little bit of money, like 0.5. And 0.5 every time that they produce. And these guys, I know they produce every 20 seconds. So basically there should be a small contribution of negative. But a lot of people really wanted to see exactly that data. So I gave an option here, if you press K, to see the resources per second, right? So the way this is calculated is that it's dividing the amount of contribution of the input to the rate, the production rate of the tile. And that's an information that I don't have displayed here, but I'm going to add it. I'm going to add the production rate. So because every tile has a different production rate, right now everything is roughly 20 seconds, but some tiles might have a little slower rate. That calculation is done for you, and you can see the exact negative input. So let's say you want to use a solar panel that has a productive input of electricity. So you'll see that we create a solar panel and we have electricity in positive, right? So that's activated with K. You can go back to the arrow view, which is kind of the general trend if it's positive or negative. Basically, you want to have everything positive. Um, and you want to optimize to or minimize the negative production, right? Um, Although we're going to get to a point in which this even negative production is going to be beneficial. There's going to be cases for that. Um, yeah. So now also, for instance, if you create an apartment, you see an apartment has inputs, lots of inputs and lots of outputs. So as soon as you create an apartment, it's going to show you all the resources dependencies of that apartment, even if they are like if you're not fulfilling them, right? So now you suddenly, like, by adding this block to the terrain, you're making your game more complex because you didn't need to care about some of these resources, but as you're introducing a tile that requires those resources, you basically start adding complexity, right? So you could play the game in a very simple way with just a handful of blocks and optimize for those. But as you're introducing more and more different blocks, you're going to have a much larger list, and you'll see that then this could actually get quite large. And finally, one of the most requested features, and I've seen lots of the videos from you guys, and thanks for those YouTubers that are already putting videos out there, um, and not being too critical of the state of the game, knowing that we're still developing it. But the requested feature was to rotate the tile before uh, building it, right? So R right now allows you to rotate the tile. So you can just create it like that, or you can create it like this, or you create it like that. So you basically, as you're creating, if you press R or E, right, and they decided to give those two keys for rotating in both directions. So you can rotate in one direction or in the other direction. And this allows you to, oops, let's say an apartment, if you really want to determine, oh, I know that it's going to be accessible from this direction, I could just place it there, right? What we're seeing here is uh, these tiles are getting an alert. This red blinking is the alert mode. When a tile is about to decay, so if you see these tiles are about to decay, they're gonna alert you, right? Um, that's the red blinking. So those are kind of some of the main things. I've been trying to add more information about the shortcuts. Sometimes, for instance, in inspect mode, you can easily access it with right click. Um, and then right click, it's also useful in inspect mode. You can rotate things very quickly. It's like another shortcut that I need to kind of comment, that while in inspect mode you can right click to rotate, so that you don't have to come down here. And I think that's mainly it. There's been a lot of changes. Every change that I'm doing, I'm posting it in the development blog of the game in the website. So make sure to check that out. And if you like the game, please share it and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, there's gonna be more videos like this. So keep sending in comments. It's really helping the development of the game at this point. So I'm very, very grateful. Okay, I'll see you guys soon.